Hello there, Patriots. It's True Outlaw Patriot here, back with another one, a good one. Um, this is with James O'Keefe, and in case anybody doesn't know who that is, he was the head honcho with Veritas, exposing all kinds of crookedness until they got rid of him. If you ask me, Project Veritas got bought out by the machine, but so he decided to go and start his own organization, which is great because he really knows what he's doing. I mean, he gets the right people in the right place at the right time. This recording here is at a school board meeting in New Jersey, and if you look at the date, it happened yesterday, I believe. And he's exposing again more corruption. If you see how they run these school board meetings, that's why so many parents get shut down. Because they're in cahoots with each other. But James O'Keefe, he just has this way of just getting out the truth, and you'll also see at the end of the video, in my opinion, that there's a problem with the Board of Education in cahoots with, like I said, in my opinion, certain law enforcement. And it doesn't surprise me, ever since that snake Biden decided to let Homeland Security start deeming parents as homegrown terrorists, and stuff like that, which I think is just disgusting, and I totally hate that term. Ever since they came out with that, with the Patriot Act, which I think is totally unconstitutional. It should be, the original copy should be taken and just like burnt, and then those ashes need to be like just spread out like in the ocean. Because in my opinion, if you cannot live by the Constitution, and you're gonna live by other laws, I just think that you've lost your way in America, in my opinion. But anyway, let's check this out. And I love the way he puts these people on blast, and he lets them know, and he actually makes them stumble on their own hypocrisy. But here we go.
Mr. O'Keefe, you have to respect our policies. You are in our territory and our home, and you are
New Jersey.
you are. But
Already consents.
it's very important to stick to the guidelines and policies and discipline of the House. We do not allow recording of our meetings, please.
Aren't we recording on the Zoom?
Yes,
we
we
are.
have access to that, but
Okay.
this cannot be allowed. No, Mr. O'Keefe, I'm sorry, I cannot have this conversation any further till the recording stops.
I find it funny when he says, "Aren't we on Zoom?" and they say, "Yes, that's fine." And the reason, in their eyes, it's fine is because they're in charge of those buttons, those screens. They can easily shut those people out when it comes to Zoom. But when you're there physically with a camera, you're recording everything up into the point that it might get physical. It gets verbally abusive, it gets physical. A lot of these school board members, I mean, they rant and holler and scream, and they wind up calling the cops. But you'll see. Here we go.
And just show you the device over here. This is a hidden camera that actually has a camera in it. And there it is, recording all of you this whole meeting. Just to let you know, we have and we intend to distribute our hidden cameras to the parents of this school district in order to promote transparency.
Well, that was very unusual.
Yeah, that was very unusual, and I love the way the guy sitting next to her, that look on his face, like, oh damn, like I don't know whether I wanna puke or I wanna cry or just like get up and be like, run bitches. It's like he's insane. And sorry about my dogs, they're acting up in the background. So here we go.
All the police on me while I was giving my remarks. My name is James O'Keefe, investigative reporter residing in Bergen County, New Jersey. And Superintendent Matt Block, I read your audit report announcement on May 12th from the spring. We've noted that here in Essex County, you've supported equity and inclusion in your PowerPoint presentation. Your audit video announcement in May, you said you're both focused on the past several years on equity, inclusion, diversity, quote, mandated curricular and extracurricular programming and a focus on, quote, global citizenship.
You see the filth that they're trying to teach. You know, this whole equity, inclusion, and all that. You know, and this is what a lot of people are fighting for, fighting against, I should say. They're fighting to get it out of the school curriculum, and these people are mandating it. And what they're doing, a big part of this whole equity, inclusion garbage, is that it actually separates people more. They make everybody look at color. You know, they make everybody look at sexual orientation. You know, everybody's background. And the sad part about that is that, you know, so many times you'll see in company guidelines when you're being hired, or in the schools when they're accepting you, it would always say that, you know, we don't discriminate, you know, against religion, race, creed, color, sexual orientation, this and that, yada yada yada. But has anybody noticed that they're taking certain parts of that and they're implementing it more? And if you don't agree with it, anybody that would watch this video already knows what's going on. You're called a bigot, a racist, a fascist, you know, a homophobe, xenophobe, all kinds of things, you know. And this is in, if I had to guess, this is in elementary school. Okay, and if anybody looks at one of my last videos, when what's going on in California, is that they're teaching this stuff like this and all the sexuality from kindergarten. So anybody that thinks that you're sending your child to a pre-kindergarten or kindergarten class and they're learning about colors and butterflies and stuff like that, no, they're actually teaching them something. They're controlling your children. And by the time you know it, by the time that kid gets into middle school or gets into, you know, the 7th or 8th or 9th grade, if you don't pay attention, you're losing your child. You're losing your child big time. But we'll get into that a little more later. Here we go.
Announce that your school district is also doing a, quote, equity audit. So, for those of you who may not know what that is, it's some type of audit into equity programs. You've heard of a firm called A2Z, we've learned. Now, we don't know much about this firm. They're apparently affiliated with Rowan University. Their Instagram page has 0 posts and 41 followers, so the public will be interested to know more about that.
I'd like to interrupt, sorry, I'm sorry, we do not allow recording of our meetings, please. You are clearly recording at this time, and that's in violation of our policy. So I will grant you your 2 minutes that are left, but I would advise whoever is recording right now to please stop if you want to continue with the meeting.
She's actually incorrect. Public servants, by the Constitution, you can record public servants. They work for the public. They get paid through taxpayer money. You can record them. You can go to these meetings. They always put the fear in the parents, but there's another organization called Grassroots and Grassroots Army, and they record. I mean, I'm still amazed to this day how they get so much video recording on these school board meetings. I mean, to me, they're phenomenal. I mean, if I had to put them and James O'Keefe, I mean, it'll be a toss-up between who comes in first and who comes in second. If you put them both together, I mean, I could only imagine what, like, the shit that they could uncover together. And it would be very amazing, and it would be something that society needs right now, because more people have to stand up and keep exposing these people of what they're doing in the schools to the kids. But here we go.
Interesting about that is, one of the things that I do is use cameras to record.
Mr. O'Keefe, we have to respect our policies. You are in our territory at our home.
You're out of your area. Yeah, this is our turf.
There you go.
You are, but it's very important to stick to the guidelines and policies and discipline of the House.
Exactly what I intend.
And this is in violation clearly, so the meeting cannot go on if you violate. You will get your 2 minutes of speak. You have 2 minutes left, but the recording cannot be allowed.
Again, that's a lie. She's saying he's in violation. That's a lie. That's a straight up lie, and she knows it. But I like the way they push on this, and when there's something that they don't like, they think that people are just going to go into these meetings, and with them knowing that no matter what they're going to be shut down, and they're just going to walk in subservient. Okay, we're sorry. Okay, I'll turn off my phone. This, and that. I encourage every single person, whoever has children that go into these school board meetings, bring your phones, turn your phones on, and just expose them, put them on blast. And if they cut the meeting and say we're not gonna, go ahead, take it to your nearest news network. Take it to somebody who has a channel on social media. Put it on social media. Expose, expose, expose. That's the key thing. In order for these people, in order to bring all this wickedness to light.
So,
No, not yet, till the recording stops.
aren't we recording on the Zoom?
Yes, we have access to that, but this cannot be allowed.
This is being recorded, but we're not allowed to.
In room recording, you have to take prior permission.
I'm telling you, this guy,
It's not allowed. It's against our policy.
this guy right here looks like, I don't know if we're allowed to say what we're saying, and I just want to go home. This guy's staring at him like, you son of a bitch. He has not moved from that position the whole video so far. Looking at him look at those eyes. He's like, you motherfucker, if I had my chance, I'd take you around the back and I'd beat the living shit out of you. It's just insane. The viciousness that these people can have in their eyes towards, and they probably know who James O'Keefe is, but I could only imagine if there was a parent doing what he's doing, if he would have that same look on his face. But here we go.
Well, then, what I will tell you is that,
No, Mr. O'Keefe, I'm sorry, I cannot have this conversation any further till the recording stops.
put that down.
And shut the recording. I'm taking your word on this.
Well, we're gonna shut that recording down. No one's holding their phones up. But just to let you know, we have
And you heard what he just said. Now there's other parents here. He said we're gonna shut it down, but nobody else has the phones out. Meaning, if he didn't do this, these parents here, not saying that one of them might have not been secretly recording, but if he didn't do this and he wasn't able to get these cameras in, that means they would have had their school board meeting, and all these parents, whoever these people are, I'm assuming they're parents, they would have been shut. They would have been quiet. They would have had to listen to what the school board says, and they would have to fucking, eat it, for lack of a better term. And this is why I say people like James O'Keefe and like Grassroots Army and others, they're doing the job of the parents. And a lot of them are parents themselves, but the parents need to start doing stuff like this also. And don't take no for an answer. I don't have any kids. I have a lot of friends with kids, and a lot of times they approach me, telling me, I wish you could have came with me to that school board meeting. I wish you could have did this. I wish you could have did that. And I'm like, if it was a lot of these, if it was open to the public where I have a say so, because a lot of times they'll shut me down and say, you don't have any kids here, so your words don't count. But I tell you what, if it was my child, you're damn right I'd be out there exposing these people. And if a lot of these school board meetings, were open to the public to allow, people that don't have any kids, going to, to any of the schools, I would definitely be there on the front line. Because I hear some stories from friends of mine, and I still want to try to, get them, to say their stories, but, a lot of them, I'm not going to pressure them. A lot of them are afraid, and I told them, don't be afraid. That's what they want. Those are your kids. You are the mama and papa bears. Don't give in to that. Don't give in to them. Here we go.
Intend to distribute our hidden cameras to the parents of this school district in order to promote transparency. We care, as a resident of the state, I care about how my tax dollars are being used on these audits. And, Mr. Superintendent Block, Dr. Block, we know that you're one of the higher paid people in the state, $237,000 salary. So if I may
$237,000 this man gets paid to sit on a board and mandate that filth and garbage be taught to kids. This is where your taxpayer money is going, people. And this is in New Jersey. Now picture that. Take 100,000 of that and multiply it by every single person that's like him in every school around this country. That is billions of dollars of taxpayer money. Billions of dollars. That's why I said the Board of Education needs to be abolished. It needs to be separate from the government. It needs to be separate from the government. It needs to be abolished.
Just use my seconds to just show you the device over here that's sitting on the chair. This has in fact been recording the whole time. This is a hidden camera that actually has a camera in it. And it sits on the chair, and there it is recording all of you.
Look at him busted. Look at his face. He's like, and all three of them. She's like, shit. He's like, oh, really? And he's like, you son of a bitch. Oh, it's fucking great.
Thank you very much. We'll be distributing these devices throughout Essex County here in the interests of transparency. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that was very unusual.
Yeah, very unusual, huh?
Well, they actually called the police on me while I was giving my remarks. Someone walked in and out of the room to call the police. What did they see James O'Keefe? Police! There you have it. James O'Keefe.
See, they do that because they know that he's a threat. You know, the beauty when he was with Project Veritas that he had other people going out there, and you know he was behind the scenes. I mean, because obviously everybody knows his face, so it's hard for him to do it. But obviously they didn't. I don't know why. If anybody in that room on that board knew who it was, why did they think that he was going to walk in and not do what he does best? And once again, I'm glad he did it, but you got to check out what the cops do next.
Reporting to the police in New Jersey. Always an adventure in school work.
Question. You know if they called the police on me here?
I don't know who did. I was supposed to come here. My supervisor.
Just about 15 minutes ago or so.
Okay.
So they called the police because I'm speaking.
I was told to come here by my supervisor.
I'm a journalist.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, your supervisor told you to come?
You see that? You see the condescending attitude of that cop? Another public servant paid by taxpayer money. You know, it's horrible that you have some law enforcement that is for protecting people from the school board. And since the Biden administration put out and led who is it, James Garland, whoever it is, make the choice to say that parents will be considered like, you know, a threat to the school board meetings, you know, terrorists this and, you know, agitators that. It almost makes me wonder, like, when they implement this, do they send people, or do they send a memo to all the schools and then all the nearby police stations and find out who's going to be one of their fucking foot soldiers? Because I find it hard to believe that this officer right here, all right, he was told by his supervisors to go there. We get it, you know. He obviously, James O'Keefe is not, you know, doing anything wrong. You know, he's not being a threat. He's not, you know, attacking anybody, anything like that. You would think that the police officer would try to get both sides of the story and say, okay, you know, come down and be like, yeah, they told me to come by. But his tone is so condescending, and he walks away and turns his back. And he's like, have a good day. And it makes me wonder, like, you know, do they pick and choose who's going to do the dirty work? You know, every organization has their foot soldiers. And I say this because this man right here, this police officer right here, in my opinion, should not be a police officer. When you're a police officer, you need to be neutral 100% of the time. You are there to keep the peace. But it's obvious by his actions whose side he's on. Which means that if anyone in this school decides to make a false claim against a parent and they have to send a police officer to the house and take away one of the kids, he would be one of them on the front line without listening to the parent side of the story. It's horrible. It really is. And I'm not mixing my words. I'm not going to say, oh, not every officer's like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I wonder if they go into these areas, when they go into these schools, or when the schools get the memo that they can run this bullshit, if another memo goes into all the surrounding police stations and sheriff stations, and they say, okay, you know what? There's 100 of us, but we have the perfect candidate that will back you up if anything goes down. I wonder if it goes down like that. Because I've seen too many times on videos where the cops are arresting parents for speaking up. Literally. I mean, throwing them to the ground, handcuffing them. I mean, just brutally. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why are you taking the side of the school board? And then you expect the community to respect you. And 9 out of 10 times, the sad part about it is that when that one bad cop, in my opinion, I call them bad cops, because if they're gonna take the side of the school board when they're doing nefarious shit, they're bad cops. But then because of that one bad cop, the good cops look bad. But it's something that people really should pay attention to. Pay attention to all the little details. All the details. You need to find out all the judges in your area, all the police chiefs. You need to find out exactly who stands for what. Because when you walk into one of these school board meetings, you need to find out who's on your side 100% and who is against you 100%. And record. That is your right to record.
Okay. So there's the police officer admitting that his supervisor told him to come because I was speaking in a school board meeting.
Look at that. So not only his supervisor, the cops in on it too. You see? It's horrible and it's disgusting. And this is just in New Jersey. I mean, this is one school. God only knows how much more of this is going on. But anyway, I hope you like what you see. I'm going to leave a link to this description. A link to this video in the description. Again, I'm True Outlaw Patriot. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. Pass it along. Put your notification button on so when I put out more content. And as always, stay vigilant, keep praying, and keep praying for each other. Peace.